My alarm goes off, and I slowly open my eyes, still half asleep. As I glance out the window, the sun is just starting to peek over the horizon. I slip out of bed, brush my teeth, put on the clothes I laid out the night before, grab my packed bag, and hug and kiss my wife and kids. I pour a cup of coffee, and as my garage door opens, I feel the cool, brisk air. I put my suitcase in the trunk, get into my car, pull out of my driveway, and off I go. As I drive out of the neighborhood, the sun rises a little higher, and I notice frost-covered leaves on my neighbors' lawns. Fall is in full effect. I glance at the GPS on my dashboard. 30 minutes until I reach Denver International Airport. I feel myself wake up a bit more as I merge onto the freeway. Maybe it's the sun and the caffeine working their magic. My mind drifts to the road ahead, where I'm going, who I'll meet, and what I aim to accomplish. This is a scene I've lived out countless times, a familiar routine etched into the life of a scout. Yet beneath the surface of this repetitive process lies a deeper meaning, as each trip represents a new journey filled with unique challenges and revelations. Today I invite you to join me as I embark on my first scouting trip of the season, ready to uncover the stories that await. I'm Matt Babcock, and this is The Matt Babcock Show. As we begin our final descent, I look out the plane window and see a familiar sight, Las Vegas, Nevada, and it takes me back. Vegas holds a unique timeline of my journey in basketball, almost like a Forrest Gump-style montage in my mind. From my days as a high school player competing in the big-time AAU tournament with all of my dreams ahead of me, to my time living here as a young agent, sharing a condo with then NBA prospect Maurice Spates, and managing my company's clients as they prepared for the NBA Draft. Then came the countless trips for NBA Summer League, each bringing a new round of meetings. Job interviews in my early and mid-20s, followed by client meetings and contract negotiations as I grew as a sports agent, with games stacked throughout. And of course, the last decade of scouting trips as an NBA Draft Analyst, bringing me here once again. So as the plane landed, I snapped out of my daydreaming and started getting locked in. It was the first day of the college basketball season, and I was excited to get back to work. It may sound funny, but when I go on scouting trips, I like to think of myself as a spy, assigning myself clear mission objectives. This time, my mission was straightforward. Mission objective: evaluate Texas's star freshman, Tre Johnson, in action against Ohio State at the T-Mobile Arena for the 2024 Hall of Fame Series. I'd already seen Johnson play quite a bit at various high school events, but I got my most in-depth look at him last year at the City of Palms Classic in Fort Myers, Florida, where he suited up for Link Academy. From that event, I learned he was a big guard who could shoot with range, score off the dribble, and produce at all three levels. He was tough, had an alpha mentality, and played with a savvy style. And Johnson could create his own shot, but it came more from his size, skill, and decisiveness than from blow-by speed or explosive athleticism. Since then, I've had numerous conversations with various people to learn more about Johnson's character, both on and off the court. I'll admit, the feedback has been mixed, but for me, the narrative I'm most interested in is the one about his toughness, competitiveness, relentless work ethic, and his gym rat approach. Going into the game, I was eager to learn more about Johnson and assess where he was in his development. I had a few specific questions. How would Johnson perform in a structured, competitive college game? How would his skills translate to this new level? Most importantly, I wanted to see if he could create his own shot. And probably just as important, if he was committed to playing team ball. Would he take good shots? Would he lock in defensively? I also paid close attention to his interactions with teammates, coaches, opponents, and referees. How did he approach the game? How did he carry himself? And what did his body language reveal? As the game got underway, Tre Johnson made an immediate impact. Right from the first few possessions, his intent to score was evident, relentless, aggressive, always hunting for his shot. He has that alpha dog mindset, the kind of drive that, when channeled effectively, becomes a real asset. By halftime, Johnson had already tallied 15 points, showcasing his range and ability to score from virtually any spot on the floor. He kept up the momentum in the second half, finishing with an impressive 29 points. Although Texas ultimately lost to Ohio State 71-64, Johnson's confidence, shot making, and smooth shooting mechanics left a strong impression. But what impressed me beyond his scoring was his overall toughness and intensity. He showed defensive focus, played hard, rebounded, and found ways to facilitate for his teammates. However, I couldn't ignore a few moments where his body language showed signs of frustration, some attitude. Nothing too alarming, but worth noting. At just 18, he's still young, and developing maturity and poise for players at these stages is just as crucial as owning their skills on the court. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, for now at least. In terms of my initial questions, Johnson showed he could create his own shot and make an impact in a structured college setting. His commitment to team play was there. He shared the ball and played hard defensively. But he still has room for growth, especially in maintaining a good attitude and positive body language. So after the game, I walked out of the T-Mobile Arena thinking, I have Johnson at number 6 on my big board, and that feels about right, because this kid can flat out play. There are still a few questions and areas I want to monitor from a scouting perspective, but overall, things seem to be moving in the right direction for Tre Johnson. Walking away from the arena, I knew this was only night one of a long season and process ahead. There's a lot of work for me to do between now and the NBA Draft. But for now, mission accomplished. I'm Matt Babcock, and this is the Matt Babcock Show. Thanks for listening.